Welcome to Beating Bolt. So there you have it. What you just saw was the Bolt beating relay team over 100 meters using all the best observed splits that I could find to assemble a team to beat Bolt. So at the end there you saw Maurice Greene finalizing the effort at 9.79, his record time. And the question is, did we manage to beat Bolt? So let's go into that race in slow motion and then we'll go to the numbers. So we start off with Su Bingqiang, and he's going to run us for the first 30 meters and give us a nice lead over Bolt before Gatlin takes over for 10 meters. Now Ben Johnson, Blake, Lyles and Kishane, Blake again, and finally Greene finishes us off. So now let's go and take a look in detail about how we did compared to Bolt and what this race is about. So let's take a look at this team that we put together. This is not the only team we can have, as you can see at the end, but I made some artistic decisions to get to this team. So who is on the team and what did they do? So obviously we've got this team lineup here. We're going to have Su Bingqiang running the first 30 meters, moving to Gatlin, moving to Ben Johnson, moving to Blake in his 9.69, Lyles in his 9.79 gold medal in the Olympics this year, Kishane with silver but with the same time, back to Blake, and then finishing it off with Maurice Greene, the first man under 9.8 seconds, if of course you discount Johnson. Interesting thing about Maurice Greene, he once ran a 9.82 with only one leg for another day. So here we go. Su Bingqiang, 0 to 30 meters, Tokyo 2021. He ran that in 3.73 seconds to Bolt's 3.78 seconds. It's interesting here that you can see Jacobs and Ronnie Baker in the same race, and also Simbini. So you can see just how good Bolt was, because you can see Jacobs at 3.84, Baker at 3.82. Baker goes on to run a 9.83 in this second place to Bing, but with the same time. But isn't that amazing? Doesn't that show you just how good Bolt is? So there we go. But we're in the lead. The team is leading thanks to Su Bing's great effort. So here we go. We can place Bolt on the track just behind, ahead of Marcel Jacobs. He obliterates Ronnie Baker in this one. He's in front of Simbini. And so we get the win. 0 to 30 meters, 3.73. So we get the win. Well done. And now we have to hand over. And this was the only split that we could hand over to. So only Justin Gatlin could do this. He did it from the 30 to 40 meters when he ran 9.77 in 2006 in Doha. This was originally recorded. He actually posed with it as a 9.76, only to become a 9.77 later on. So here he is, being chased by Bolt. Obviously, Gatlin has picked up the baton from Su Bingqiang, and Gatlin runs 0.85 for the split, beating Bolt, increasing the team's lead. So we get the check mark. Well done, Justin Gatlin, you win. Now we hand the baton to Ben Johnson during his 9.79 1988 Seoul from 40 to 50 meters. What can Ben do for us? There's Bolt going back in time, invading the track. Ben, clear daylight between him and the other runners. You've got Christie, you've got Lewis, you've got Calvin Smith with his head leaning back right there. But Ben cannot hold the mighty Bolt here. Bolt is unbeatable at 40 to 50 meters with 0.83. Ben runs a very comfortable 0.84. So we get the loss there. We've dropped a bit in our lead. But now we have the beast. From 50 to 60 meters, Johan Blake, during his 9.69 at Lucerne in 2012, picks up the baton from Ben. Obviously, Ben's got to be very careful of these fingernails as he does that. But we digress. And so how did you do, Johan? Well, you held the line, which is an amazing feat. I think you're the only one that could do this, just like Gatlin was the only one who could help us from 30 to 40 meters. In the splits that I have, you were the only one that could do this. 0.82 to Bolt's 0.82, even though, as you can see here, Bolt is clearly running downhill. And we get a tie. And now we hand the baton over to Noah Lyles. From 60 to 70 meters, as Noah Lyles ran his 9.79 in Paris this year. How did he do? Well, he did extremely well. He was coming back from a tremendous deficit. He ran 0.82 for this split. He's trying to catch the then leader, Keshane Thompson, but Bolt ran that in 0.81, reducing our lead. So we take the L, we take the loss. And now from 70 to 80 meters, Noah Lyles and Keshane Thompson in the same race, both running 9.79, give us 9.83s. But Bolt ran a 9.82 and wins that leg. So we take the loss and we hand it back to the beast. And what can you do for us, Johan? Well, you run a very excellent 0.84. I think also Powell could have done this for us, but I chose you just for consistency. And Bolt wins with 0.82. He's really catching us up. So, Maurice Greene, it's up to you. The anchor leg. You make a smooth transition despite those very long fingernails from Blake, and you pick up the baton during your 9.79 Athens run, 1999, and you cross the line. And in this picture, I've got you winning. But is that right? I've also noted that because of the tension, we've lost all ability to see, and we've gone back to 1990s technology. And you do very well, but Bolt just snicks us. And so the report card looks as follows. And so now, who actually won? We're trying to beat the 9.58 target of Bolt. We sum it up, and we get 9.58 seconds. We tie with the great man, we match Bolt, and with the best observable splits that we can see from all the other athletes, we can match Bolt. I'm going to show you the spreadsheet behind this. There's a couple of tricks, and I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you. So before we sign off, I thought I would show you a couple of other things. Number one, spend some time seeing if we can improve our time, and we can actually, and I do have a trick there. I can actually, instead of doing just the best observed, I can do the best observed with a reaction time recalculation. We do have in the set of sprinters Tim Montgomery's reaction time when he ran his 9.78 world record. He had a brilliant reaction time, and that enables us to take our 9.58 over here all the way down to a 9.542 because I had down here I had Xu Bing's reaction time. And you can see that we're saving nearly 0.4 of a second there, look. Not quite, 0.38, but there we go. That would be rounded up to a 955. So we can get down to a 955, nearly a 9.54, by looking at the best of the best splits. And that beats Bolt. But does it? Because I've got a couple of things going on with Bolt as well. I have also got this thing called God mode. And in God mode Bolt, what we do is take the best of Bolt at each section. And when you do that and you sum it up, you get to 9.53. So Bolt, if you just observe Bolt, this section all the way over to here, you end up better than all the best of the rest by about 100th of or 200th of a second. But I've got one better than God mode for Bolt, and that's where I sub in Bolt's best reaction time. And from that point of view, if I consider the reaction time, taking the best reaction time, I can get Bolt down to a 9.511. So that'd be rounded up to 9.52. But that goes to show you it's this sustained top speed that Bolt has, which is just, no one's been able to touch it. We had Johan here who could hold him, but no one can really stay with Bolt. Once he's up and he's running and into his strides, he's just catching you up, and he's not a bad starter at all. When you look at the times for the 30 meters, and you consider that in that 2009 he had a 378, which he also did incidentally in his 969. He really eased up at the end of that 969, and you start to just scroll through, you don't get many in the 37s. So Bolt was just superb all round, as we always conclude, and we know. But there you go. That's how it was done. Here's the other names that could have gone in. We had Montgomery, Ben, who we used, Asafa, Kishane, Donovan Bailey. I think it's Donovan Bailey, or is it? Yeah, I think it's Donovan Bailey. Very interesting. That's an amazing guy. Business mind. Johan, Lyles, Kishane, Powell. We could have, at the end, we had Gatlin again with his Doha, Powell again, but the best of the rest can actually match the best of Bolt, but can't match Bolt in God mode or Super God mode. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you.